Alright, I want to do a little Doo Wop lesson. I put up another lesson on Doo Wop style, and the only reason I called it Doo Wop was because of the chord progression. As you get better at music, a lot of times you tend to not think about the particular chords like C, A minor, F, G. You tend to think more in the chord function and different scales. So what I mean is, like, if you're in the key of C, the one chord would be C, and the sixth chord would be A minor, and the four chord would be F major, and the five chord would be G. But then if you switch keys, like if you went to the key of D, you could think about the particular chords, or you could just think about the same chord numbers. So like the one chord is D, and the sixth chord is B minor, and the four chord is G, and the five chord is A. Or you could switch to the key of G major, and instead of thinking about all the particular chords, you could just think about the chord numbers again. And if anyone has any questions about this, it's a really important concept that a lot of people don't learn until you've been playing guitar for a while, but it's not that complicated. So I'd be happy to do some more lessons on it, but the main point is it's a 1-6-4-5 tends to give this kind of doo-wop sound, like. So I'm going to play a 1-6-4-5 chord progression in the key of C, and the particular chords turn out to be C major, A minor, F major, you could do it like this, or like this, and G. So the first thing that I like to do is just strum these chords, and doo-wop tends to be in 3-4. A lot of the times it's in 4-4, but a lot of that music is in 3-4, and a lot of times if you play it in 3-4, it kind of has more of the doo-wop feel. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So C major, A minor, F. I like to do it like this a lot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But then once you can do that, the next step is start adding some notes in there to make it sound more melodic. So you could be like this, C major. So what I did is I add my pinky up on the top. A minor. I add my pinky there onto D, onto the 3rd fret. So far I have C major, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then I'll go to F. Why don't I add it up on the same note I did at the beginning on C, G, and I'll add it on this note again. So basically what I did is I just repeated the same additions. I added this note onto the C, this note onto the A minor, this note onto the F major, and this note onto the G. Starts to sound a little sadder and a little more melodic. So the next thing I like to do is I like to slide to different notes, and this sort of sounds more like someone's singing. So I slid from 3 to 5, and I'll go this one. I don't really like that. I think it would sound better to slide from 1 to 3. So like as you make stuff up doing this approach, you just kind of revise it as you go. So I didn't like the 3 to 5 on the A minor chord, so I'm going to go 1 to 3. It just sounds more melodic, so we go. I don't really like that anymore on this chord, so why don't I go the other way? So instead of going up, I'm going to go 3, 1, 0. So on the F. Maybe I'll do sort of the reverse here. Instead of sliding, actually this would sound cool. So I'll maintain what I did at the beginning. on the G chord, which was the 3rd fret, adding it on. But I'll go 3 to 5, back to 3, and then 1 3. So far we have. Maybe that's too much. That has too many notes in it. I'm just gonna do this. Maybe I'll have a little slide into the chord at the very end. So we got C, A minor, yeah, from 1 to 3. So and then when I went to the C, I have a little slide in at the end. If I had reverb on my guitar, it would sound a lot more dramatic and cool, but this is just a nylon guitar and there's not much going on. Oops, C major. All of a sudden the chords sound a lot cooler, and if you do want to sing, it's much easier to start singing when you can add in notes on your guitar. So we had the beginning, I had just C, so I'll break it down and I'm going to make it a little bit harder. So we got C, A minor, 1 2 3, F 2 3, 1 2 3, G. So this is the standard chords. This is a 1 6 4 5 chord progression in the key of C. There's F. And then I added some notes. I went pinky on the top 3rd fret, pinky on 3rd fret on the B string, F, pinky on the top 3rd fret, G. And then I got more fancy and I started adding more notes, so I did. A minor, so the first one I did C 3 5 3, A minor, 1 3 1, F 3 1 0, G 3 5 3, slide to 1st fret, do back to C. So that's starting to sound a little cooler, and the more you do it, just the fancier stuff you come up with. Then the other thing I really like to do to kind of get a doo-wop sound is I like to make the 4 chord into a minor chord. So the 4 chord is F in the key of C, and I'll make it into a minor, and the way you do that is you flat what's called the 3rd, which turns out to be A. So I'm going to flat this note, this A, I'm going to flat it, make it A flat. And this, you can either do it with the bar chord, or a lot of times I just go like this. So what I did is I flatted that note, and then I'm doing 3 3 1 1, or I'll just play those 2 notes, or I'll even just play that. This is the significant note. So what you do is you go C major, A minor, F, F minor, G, so C major, A minor, F, F minor, G. One of my favorite chords lately, and actually for a while, is this. This is G13. So I like to go like this at the end. I go G in some way, however I want to do G, and at the end I do G13. It just sounds really nice. So we'll do F, F minor, G, and then G13. And the way you do that chord is not that hard. You do first finger on 3, middle finger on 3 on the D string, third finger on 4, and pinky on 5. It sounds kind of jazzy, but it fits with this doo wop feel. And then I either go from the 5th fret with my pinky to the 3rd fret or up to 6th fret. So I go like, or I go the other way. So here's what it sounds like: C, A minor, F, F minor, G, G13. Put a lot of reverb on, these notes sound way more dramatic, even if you play them really faint. So here I'll play sort of the first idea, but with the F minor and the G13. So we got. And then here I go F. Making it more complicated, but the next step is you can start adding bass notes in. So you could keep doing your sort of additions on top, but add some bass notes. And that wasn't very good, but the more you do this, I just made that up off the top of my head. Starting up coming up with cool stuff, and what I'm doing is I'm just adding bass notes in, either the root note of the chord or maybe another note from the chord or a note that's just close to the chord. And if you know like your scales, it helps to know which notes to add. But a lot of times I just do it just by feel, and that's how I learned how to do it. You just kind of pick one. If it sounds bad, you don't use it. And then the last step, I'm not going to explain this, is you can start to just add more versions of the chord in different spots. So a lot of times I like to start off down here, like, and then I'll go way up to the guitar and I'll play the same chord. So this is the C major, A minor, and then I'll go to F, F minor, G, and then I'll maybe go to a different version of C, F, F minor, and then G. A lot of times I like to hit these harmonics too. This turns out to be either a G6 or an E minor chord. Sounds cool if you go those top 3 harmonics on the 12th fret and then 10th fret D. So you got F minor, F major, F minor, G. So the way that you like master these other chords is just by playing for a while, but also learning your triads. And if you have somebody who's more advanced at guitar, and I could do some lessons on this, and you just practice this kind of stuff a lot. C, C, C. You do that for all your chords. That's how most people learn. A minor, A minor, A minor. Then you do it for all of them. F, F, F. Or you could do the same thing for F minor. Oops. So that's it. If anyone has any questions, let me know. All right, bye.